Good morning from a bright and sunny California. It's Crystalline here, and I'm really excited about our first project in the You Lead Intuitive Business Development for Heart-Centered Entrepreneurs Facebook group. So first of all, I want to thank you all for joining me here, and I want to extend a particularly deep bow of appreciation for those of you who are generously already participating by sharing and commenting and supporting one another. It is so nice to have not just your cooperation, but your support. I need it, and so do the other members of our community. So I thank you very much. So as you know, I've been really working hard on our first project, and if you've been working with me for a while, then you will know that I tend to bite off more than I can chew. But you also know that I have a very big mouth, and I also have tremendous fortitude. So naturally, I managed to pull off this project. So I am really proud to introduce you to Planting Your Prosperity Garden, a 6-week energy activation course for heart-centered entrepreneurs who desire to give birth to their divine life purpose. I told you I have a big mouth. That was a mouthful. I'm going to read it to you again because I want you to get it. The program is called Planting Your Prosperity Garden, a 6-week energy activation course for heart-centered entrepreneurs who desire to give birth to their divine life purpose. So this project, now actually let me tell you before I go on, this recording that you're listening to is just an introduction. We are going to start the real program in 2 days, but I wanted to get you prepared and kind of give you a heads up about what's going to be coming. So just don't worry, we're not going to get into anything too deep right now. That's going to come in the very first official module, okay? But for right now, I want to tell you where I'm going with this thing, and because I want you to start getting your head around what I'm going to ask you to be doing. So you do realize that everything you experience in the three-dimensional world begins in your mind, right? Right. So what you experience in your material life is actually an outpicturing of your beliefs, your thought patterns, your emotional responses, your parental programming, and really, most importantly, your focus. Now, all of these sensory experiences create neural pathways in your brain, and they repeat themselves over and over in the world around you. So your ability to clear your mind of old negative programming at the level of your heart and your mind, so not just your mind, but your heart, your feeling nature, your emotions, if you can obliterate or at least lighten those up a little bit so that you can have new ways coming in, then you can absolutely change your destiny for the better. And this is going to guarantee the stability of your resources because you have found a pure connection to source energy. So as a heart-centered entrepreneur, your biggest gift is the very thing that many people in traditional business might actually tease you about, which is your intuition and your ability to feel very deeply. So, of course, as a highly intuitive soul who has built her entire lifestyle based on her feeling nature, I am going to teach you how to hone this God-given talent, which is yours to enjoy and to use to create magic. So in Planting Your Prosperity Garden, in this program, I'm going to be challenging you to explore a whole new approach to prosperity. I've noticed in my work as a spiritual life coach and a mentor that many heart-centered entrepreneurs, although highly intuitive with excellent depth of feeling, they're challenged with manifesting their soul's calling. So this challenge is for some very important reasons, but it's all stuff that originates in your mind. You're challenged not by outside circumstances, but by the way your mindset is actually set up. Okay, so we're going to go into this in great detail over the next 6 weeks, but for right now, I want you just to chew on this idea that all those challenges you're experiencing in the three-dimensional world are actually coming to you because of certain things that are going on in your mind. So, of course, my first theory and the assumption that I make is that you are a divine being having a human experience. So the truth of who you are is divine, and the experience you're having is of limitation, of being human. So when I'm talking to you, what my job is as your mentor and as your guide is to help you remember who you are. Okay? So one really big reason that heart-centered entrepreneurs struggle with giving birth to their ideas is that they are super attached to the three-dimensional world and their egoic personality. So they find it very difficult to trust themselves, their intuition, and the universe, because everything in the 3D is all about limitation and keeping things status quo. All right, so we want to make sure that we remember who we are, which is the light, the divine being within, so that that light within can overrule the egoic self. So that when we're looking out at the world and we see a car accident, for example, we don't go into egoic human panic mode. Oh my God, this is terrible. What we do is we go into the expanded divine self and we say, how can I help? Let me feel, okay, I see a pattern. I'm going to go do this, Reiki. You know, there's a totally different way of approaching something that could be totally life negating, versus turning that situation into something that is totally life affirming, right? And that starts within you and the identity that you are taking. Are you identifying with your egoic self, or are you identifying with your higher self? Okay, we will be talking about this more over the next few weeks, so please don't worry. We'll go into this, okay? All right, so another really important thing that we need to consider is that it's the heart-centered entrepreneur doesn't necessarily have all the tools they need in order to take their ideas from the ethers of thought into the three-dimensional world of form. And this is usually for the same thing as that I just illustrated. You're identified with your ego, and so you are at the mercy of your emotional self, okay? You need emotional chutzpah in order to stay committed, to stay dedicated, to be tenacious, and to have the grit that it takes to conceive of an idea, conceptualize it, develop it, and then bring it to fruition in the three-dimensional world. You need commitment, dedication, tenacity, and grit. So this requires tremendous emotional strength to ride the waves of change that challenge you without becoming paralyzed with fear and without shrinking yourself to the point of ineffectiveness. Now, with that being said, The other big reason that many heart-centered entrepreneurs don't thrive is simply because they perceive a lack of material resources, right? So they need material resources such as time and money and assistance from other people. They need those things in order to do what Spirit is calling them to do. But what they think is that they don't have those things. They're looking around, they're saying, I have $3 in my bank account, and I don't have time. I work five jobs, and I only have $3 in my bank account. I don't have time to pursue my divine life purpose, right? My theory is Spirit, number one, would not call you to do something that you cannot afford to do. When Spirit calls you to do something, it is going to provide you the means and the way. So you have to say yes and show up. Okay, that's your job. Say yes and show up. Remember that where there is divine will, there is always the divine way. So what we're going to be doing in this program is getting you learning how to open up and to feel the divine way. So there can be quite a bit of shaky financial uneasiness around many heart-centered entrepreneurs. They just can't figure out how to experience the fruit of prosperity. They have a desire to create their projects and to pursue their dreams, but they think that they don't have the financial means to allow their creativity to flow and the time to nurture their projects. Now, it would be really easy for me to dive in and to initiate us into exploring money issues. We would focus on money, and I would talk to you about, how to make money, how to build money, how to manage money, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is that money is energy. And if your energy is blocked, then your money will be blocked. If your energy ebbs and flows, then so does your money. If your focus, which is really a momentum of energy channeled into an object, if that is inconsistent, then your money's going to be inconsistent. And of course, if your commitment, which is promised energy, if that promised energy wavers, if it starts and then it stops and then it starts, it goes herky-jerky, then so is your money. So, my dear heart-centered entrepreneur, the first thing that we're going to be doing in this program is going to train you in energy. Specifically, we are going to take 6 weeks to learn how to develop, nurture, and use the 7 major energy centers in your body to bring you face to face with your divine life purpose. And you're going to learn how to use those energy centers, right? So, if you are ready to take a deep dive into your energy to learn how you work so that you can gain a new relationship with yourself, then give me a woohoo, yeah, baby, right? Okay, look, I have to admit I'm in a bit of a silly mood. I've been working on this project, and I'm so excited. The thing is, I get really excited about a project, but in order to give birth to a project, there are a lot of little steps. You have to think of the project, you have to work it out from start to finish, you have to think about the transformation, you have to, learn how it's helping people, and then you have to communicate that, then you have to put that all in writing, and then you have to make a video about it, and you have to create an audio about it, then you have to create the graphics around it, then you have to tell everybody, and that requires an email, then you have to put it on your website, then you got to put it on your Facebook page, and then you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and then you got to teach it. So yeah, sometimes I have to admit I go a little crazy up in here, okay? So let me tell you just a couple more things, then I'm going to let you get off, and I'm going to go enjoy a little aperitivo and get ready to unwind. Oh, sorry. I started off this recording with good morning. That's because I wrote this morning, and then I went through all these different changes, and when I started recording, because I just didn't have the heart to stop the recording and erase it, I said, forget about it. I'm just going to go with it. And here I am telling you now that it's 4 o'clock in the evening or in the afternoon, and I'm about to have an aperitivo. Right? Okay, so there you go. There's the discrepancy, and now you get it. I'm going to have me an aperitivo, and it's not 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? It's at actually a reasonable time, all right? So let me just wrap this up for you so you can get on with making your plans, because that's what I really want you to do next, okay? So to participate in this program, you are going to need a journal. It doesn't matter whether you use paper or whether you go digital. It's up to you. But you're going to need something where you can take notes. And I want you taking notes and writing stuff down all the time. I want you writing your thoughts. I want you observing what you feel and then making documentation of that stuff, because you're going to need this for your own self in the future, right? Now, you're going to also need about 30 minutes each day in order to do this kind of work. Now, this is a transformational program. I'm going to be teaching you stuff, but I'm also going to need you to apply these things to yourself so that you can learn these things, right? So we're going to be talking about the chakras, which are there are 7 major chakras in your body. Those are energy centers. We're going to be talking about those energy centers. I'm going to teach you about them, and then I'm going to have you feeling them. I'm going to have you changing the energy of them. I'm going to have you analyzing them. I'm going to have you finding blockages to them. I need you to write this stuff down, because number one, when you write stuff down, it helps you process. Writing is one way that spirit communicates with us. So when you're writing, you're going to be learning, absorbing, and challenging yourself and conjuring up all sorts of stuff that's deeply hidden in the recesses of your mind. So definitely doing lots of journaling. Get yourself a new journal if you want to. Use an old one. Hop on Evernote. Do it in Google Docs. It don't matter. Just journal. Just write. Okay? Now, like I said, you're going to need at least 30 minutes each day. This can become a part of your daily practice, by the way. This shouldn't be like, I don't want this to be heavy work. It's not, it is meant to be emotionally heavy, because that's what I do. I'm that spiritual life coach that's going to be like, yeah, and what's the root cause of that? Yeah, Sarah, what's the root cause of that? Like we need to dive deep. Okay, that sounds a little superficial. How can we get a little deeper in there? That's where I'm asking you to go, because that's where the transformation is going to take place. There's no point in me asking you to do little itsy bitsy transformation. I am not the woman to talk about cliches, right? Don't do cliches. If you're going to give me a cliche, I'm going to be like, you need to cite that. Like, where's that come from? And why don't you tell me in your own words exactly what you mean by that, okay? Okay, yeah, right. All right. So make sure you give us enough time so that you can really dive in and do this. We're doing transformational work, okay? So the curriculum is going to come to you through writings, audio recordings, videos. There are going to be exercises, rituals, meditations. There are going to be group sessions, and there's even going to be some partner work. Now, there's going to be one weekly group meeting that you can participate in live in Zoom, or you can just hop onto the Facebook group and watch the live streams or the replay, okay? So the group meetings will be held on Sundays at 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, okay? So you can go ahead and mark off the next 6 Sundays starting April 28th, okay, at 6 o'clock a.m. Now, just a little heads up, if you're coming into this program after April, don't worry. You just need to, because we're going to be having live streams all the time, and I do believe I'm going to keep that Sundays at 6 o'clock. Oh man, I said 6 o'clock. It's not 6 o'clock. Woo! I'm so glad I caught that. Sorry guys. Sundays, we'll go to the calendar, because I have a 5 o'clock a.m. Woo! I should have done this at 7. I'm supposed to do this from 7:30. 7 o'clock to, sorry guys, 7 o'clock to 8:30. So forgive me. I'm glad I remembered that. And no, I am not going to go back and edit this audio. I'm going to let you know right now that it's Sundays at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because I have a client at 5 a.m. every other Sunday, and I want to make sure I have plenty of time to talk with my client and then hop back into our session and maybe have a little breakfast in between. So there you go, 7:30s on Sundays, all right? Boom. Now, during these live sessions, I'm going to ask you to bring whatever work you've completed over the week, and I want you to ask me any questions you have, so you can feel free to talk about what you've experienced. You can ask me about anything that you don't understand. By the way, if over the course of this program there's something that you don't understand, post a question in Facebook. I should create a question. I will create a question post so that all the questions are in one spot. That way I won't miss your question. So I will create a questions thread, and you can ask any questions you have, like during the week, as you're going through stuff. If you don't understand what I mean by, the root chakra is the pathway to your birth. If you don't understand what that means, say, hey, Crystalline, put it in the question thread. Crystalline, I don't understand what in the world you're talking about when you say the root chakra is the passageway for your birth. All right. Boom. So during those live stream sessions, you're totally invited to come. I'd love to see you in every single session. That would be really good for my heart. And it would also help me to know you so that I can figure out what I need to do in order to help you more. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to share your feedback and to share the progress that you're making, right? And I want you to understand that my role is to be your spirit guide, your coach, and your mentor. So I am here to serve you in the way that you need. My job is to advance your soul's divine agenda. I'm the channel who's going to help your soul help you. Okay, so this Facebook group is really important. It is our community meeting room, and it's where I'm going to be asking you to make regular check-ins. I'm going to ask you to, when you do home fun, I'm going to ask you to make your post, to share it there with everyone. That kind of energy is going to help other people stick to the program. It's going to help them feel not alone. Very often, you will run into a problem, or someone will run into a problem within themselves, and they will feel like, I don't get it, I'm alone, I'm going to shut down, I'm going to withdraw. Well, when you share your hardships and problems, other people are like, this is me as well. So then all of a sudden, you realize that your hardship is actually normal. Like, this is normal. Why am I mad at myself for something that nobody understands, right? So make sure you share yourself. Don't be ashamed of your hardships. Go out there, put it out. I want to know what your hardships are, because number one, I'm here to help you, but also I've gone through some stuff. If you've been following me, you know that I'm not afraid to share my shit. I'm pretty darn raw and honest with people, telling you what's going on. And yes, it's my job. And yes, it is hard to do. It's not easy for me to admit when I feel like I failed. It's not easy for me to admit when I feel bad about myself. It's not easy, but it's essential. And it helps me help you, right? So we're in this together. Don't be afraid. Let it all out, okay? Now, so just last thing. The program starts officially on Wednesday, April 29th. So I'm going to be uploading introductory coursework for you by April 28th. If you're joining after, don't worry. You start the program whenever you start the program. If you don't start this program until June, that's okay. The program is good. This is not based on, you have to do this on April 28th. You start it when you start it. Do your best, though, to keep up with the coursework so that you are gaining momentum, because momentum is what's going to help you change and grow and give you the transformation that you're looking for. Okay, so the program starts officially on April 29th. I will be uploading documents and stuff on April 28th throughout the day. Our first actual meeting will be on Sunday, May 3rd at, here I wrote it down, at 6 o'clock a.m. Again, that needs to be at 7, oh God, what did I do? 7:30, yes, at 7:30. 7:30 a.m. Although I could start this at 7 o'clock a.m. Oh my gosh, wait, pause. Pause this recording so I can figure out. Ha! 7 o'clock. All right, y'all are going to kill me. I'm sorry. I'm going to write it right, but 7 o'clock is when we're going to start. Okay, 7 o'clock a.m. I'm done with, I have my session at 5. It ends at 6. I only need an hour. I don't need more than an hour. So 7 o'clock a.m., I will change that in the calendar right now because, I'm a mess, y'all. I wrote it down for 7 a.m. Boom, we are good. Gonna put a Facebook, by the way, I'm gonna put an event in Facebook so you'll see this weekly event. You can feel free to sign up for it, to let me know that you're coming. I would really appreciate it if you would sign up on that Facebook event and let me know that you're going to be there. Things will be done. These events, by the way, are going to be done on Zoom, so I will post all of that in the Facebook group for you. All right? So start getting yourself prepared now. Block off time on your schedule, to spend time doing the work over the week. Book yourself in with the live stream, okay? Put that on your schedule, 7 o'clock a.m. on Sundays, starting this Sunday. And let's get ready to sow the seeds of prosperity. Right on. Woohoo! Yes. All right. Signing off. Bye for now.